Welcome back. I'm High. Playing a little bit more Druidstone. We last left off with several options for the next level here. And one of those that we definitely want to look at is the Trial of Cryon Blocks. It's going to be pretty short. A little bit of story, a little bit of reward. That's about it. In the last episode, we met with Steelface. He was hanging out with the Rangers. They were watching us fight those skeletons, getting those useless amulet halves. Test is what they said. So we do want to look at some equipment here, and you see we have 284 gold, but that will be coming up a bit in the near future. Nothing too crazy. The gold seems really balanced in this game so far. I've been able to buy some things that I totally need, and otherwise it's a bit of a struggle. One thing I do think I want to get early here is the wool shirt. That leaves us immune to slow, and it gives us cold resistance, which could be useful in that bonus level up here in the cold area. Thinking about that. A torch seems pretty useless. Maybe we'll get into some dark areas later. Throwing knives I never even noticed before. That's interesting. Just 2 damage ranged. And anyone can equip it. So it's basically a bow with a very short range, 3 squares. So there are some different melee weapons here and a different bow. This bow, I believe, actually has some nice attributes, and it will be the first thing that I buy, I think, at 120. It's a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it, considering how weak T is right now with her bow. She has a 5 square range on that, and we can actually pull it up. We can look at it. So she has the long bow right now. It's a 5 square range, 2 damage, and the buffs here are a range buff, so we can up it to 7, which is still less than that other bow. And she can add piercing, which just penetrates armor by 1. And so even when she's penetrating armor by 1, the maximum damage that she's able to do there is 2 damage, right? And normally she's doing 2, sometimes she's doing 1. This is a pretty weak weapon. The best thing about it is that 5 square range, and this bow has better range, so it's inarguably better just to start. Additionally, it gets volley, which means you can attack up to 2 targets within the range of the weapon. So there can be an enemy 8 squares this way and 8 squares this way, and she will be able to attack both of them in 1 turn. Of course, she can only use it once per battle. It's overpowered otherwise. And she also gets the ability to have aim. Aim is nice. You get a +2 bonus to range and damage. So instead of doing 2 damage, she does 4 damage in that round. And instead of attacking up to 8 squares, she can attack up to 10. It's good for both situationally. Sometimes people are just out of range and you just want to hit them. And sometimes people have like 3 or 4 health and you just want to kill them. And so both of these instances are situational. And on top of that, I don't think you can actually. I was going to say you can use aim and volley in conjunction, but I think it's one or the other. But what she's going to get soon is this power attack ability, and we'll make use of that with her more often than we will with the Warden, because 3 HP attack is usually within a reasonable range on the enemies we fight. And so he doesn't need that boost nearly as much as T does all the time. So yeah, I think we'll grab this Hunter's Bow. Let's put that on her now. I did keep this originally because I was like, maybe I'll need that 1 pierce, but I never switched back. Hunter's Bow equipped. And so we can sell this longbow for 25 gold. Excuse me. Now we have 189 left. Let's look at his weapon here. It's a sword. It can be upgraded to get Pierce. By the way, we want to spend this power gem on her aim ability. It's really nice. And currently, Val is doing really well with 2 focus, 4 fire, 3 focus, 4 fire. We will want to up his focus one more time, but not as much as we want. A little bit of power spread out, and that aim gives us the first opportunity to really do so. Her next bow, I bought right away too, and it's really great, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's see, there's a staff that grants focus. We don't really need that. Ooh, although I never thought about this, but actually, Val's primary weapon, I never use. I've never used it. There's no point in him having that. So giving him another focus is actually not a terrible idea. I never thought of it that way. It's interesting. And the mage robe offers focus and immunity to fire. That's mostly pointless, except for the focus, but it takes a power gem, and we still have the ability to add focus to him the same way. So it would just be plus 1 HP, and there are better ways to give him that. Let's see, gain 3 uses of shift from the leaf shirt. So this is sort of like you can be elusive, you're immune to poison. If we were ever in a room with like 80 rats, that would be pretty nice to have. Can't think of an instance where that does happen. So, okay. The log vest is like a cheap armor. It's weak to fire though, so it's really only useful in the beginning of the game here because you start getting fire enemies not too far away. The wool shirt, I mentioned before, it's kind of good for this mountain that's coming up. It's pretty cheap, so maybe we'll grab that after this first battle here. The battle axe gets cleave, and that is an attack 2 targets with your melee weapon. It's a little strange the way the targeting works. Okay, the first target must be adjacent to you and the second target, adjacent to the first one. But in my experience, like if there are 2 guys in a line and you're on one side of that guy, you can't attack through that guy, even though it sounds like you should be able to. In my experience, both targets have to be adjacent to you and also each other, I think. Power attack on kill is really, really nice. That means if I use the warden to finish off an enemy, which I do all the time because I don't like to leave him exposed in melee range anyway, you get a power attack. You just gain it. That's it. And so you walk around like killing things, getting a power attack, killing things, getting a power attack, and he ends up doing 4 damage instead. So we do want to buy this as soon as possible, and we're not going to really need anything in this next round, so maybe we'll get some gold, maybe we'll buy that right away. But I'm pretty happy about her bow, and yeah, let's jump into the trial of Cryon Blocks. From Beryl, I believe that was the tall guy who we just spoke to, who was watching us kill all the skeletons. Val says, sure, we know who built them. Bimerians. Just about all the ancient crap is by Bimerians. Glad to have you working with us, Warden. The primary task of every ranger is to defend Menhir Forest, but sometimes we take it easy and go shrine hunting. We don't know who built them. These places are ancient, and even after all this time, we're still finding new ones. Many of them we have never managed to unlock. Each one is a unique puzzle. It's a little like banging your head against a wall, to be honest, but it's worthwhile. The ones we've managed to open have had great rewards. Good luck. And this one is actually kind of tricky. It took me a minute to figure out the first time, but maybe you'll see it right away. Amazing. These blocks, how long have they been here? They're ancient. Everything about these places is ancient. And they're still glowing like that after all this time. I bet they serve some purpose, some kind of magical mechanism. Are they safe to touch? You know, I often wonder that about a lot of things, and then I just go and find out. That seems a little foolhardy. Keeps me from getting bored. Val's the best. Okay, we have a series of glowing blocks. We have these symbols on the floor, and I thought, what in the hell is going to happen with these symbols? So the first thing I did was walk onto one. It doesn't hurt. I'm not hurt by that. They're also not a switch. We also don't have enough people to put on them for them to be a switch. So then I thought, can I push these things? And I can. I can push them in all four directions as long as they're not up against a wall. And so my immediate reaction then was to see what would happen if I push one onto one of these red tiles, right? And this is what happens. So now I wonder if that immediately makes you realize what I need to do next. But I already know. So I'm just going to do it. Okay, so this one goes in place on this floor panel here, right? Now we have two shapes remaining. We have this like corner here of 3, and we have a little small block of 2. And what we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 pieces of block left. We need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so there are 3 more block removing tiles left. And 8 minus 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the trick here is going to be getting these blocks into the right shapes to finish this puzzle out. To fill every floor tile here. Because there's nothing for us to switch. It needs to be the blocks on the floor. So, let's see. I can't move this block up because it will be stuck against that wall. There's no way to pull the blocks. You can only push them, right? And this block needs to have 1, 2 removed here, because if it's against this wall, it's going to erase these sides, and that's the way we're going to get push out of it. So what I think is the best way to do this, and I could be wrong, I could just be missing a way to do this. I think the best way to do this is to slide the green one up and get rid of that corner. I think the part of me that's wrong there is, for some reason, I think the green one needs to be this shape and the orange one needs to be the other, just because it's in line with this block. And I think maybe not. Maybe that's the best way to do that. I just misclicked, that's all. So we can push down. We have to be careful here. Not really. Wait a second. Okay. And so also we need to do this one before this one, because we're going to need this little section to be intact for us to be able to push this block away from this top wall. Because it does look like... Yeah. Wait. Is this gonna work? No. Wow. I needed to do that one first. I keep misclicking. This is an embarrassment. I think I got it though. We'll see. Because I didn't need to push it down. I needed to push it out to here and then down. And that's pretty simple, really. So we'll bring it down. Pop it there. Bring it up. Pop it there. And now we can push this out. Walk all the way around. I keep misclicking. You can't like aim here or he'll walk all the way down there. You have to aim here. And now we can finish this off with the blue one. There we have it. Pretty simple. Less so in execution there, as you saw, but maybe you closed your eyes and didn't see. I don't know. We got no gold for that. 1 power gem is what we got for that, which is helpful. Not quite what we were hoping for. Makes me wonder if I'd picked up that gold that the green dragon guy dropped. I can't remember what they were called. I wonder if I would have had just enough to buy his axe right now. I might actually jump into like a real easy level and try to get 11 gold and come back for the next episode. Just checking my timer here. Nice, we're nearing 20 minutes, so that wasn't too bad at all. We went over some of the shop stuff. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to look at. This figure is the first accessory we get. I think the only accessory we get in the first round here. And you do 3 damage to yourself and break a figure to obtain a random consumable item. And so in my experience, the consumable items aren't all that great. But it is interesting. It's an interesting mechanic. If you really like a little bit of gambling and chaos in your game, and 3 HP is not really that big of a deal, especially towards the end of the fight, or if you're getting desperate. Also, I think one of the very worst things you can get is a potion. And that heals 2 of that HP back up. And could cure you of some ailment at the same time. And it's a free action. So if you pop this, get a potion, and you were about to be like paralyzed in the next turn, it's really good. And it also doesn't take anything away to have an accessory slot. And as far as I know, you can only buy one of each of these things. So like the armor, I can't just buy 3 and equip everyone in the same armor. You can only buy one, and that's the armor that you get for one character, right? So itemization in the game is interesting. Also, we sold that longbow and it came back into stock. So if I never need it again, I can grab it for 50 gold, which is not too bad. Another one. I'm high. I appreciate you, your eyes and your ears and your attention, or just your ears in the background. Whatever I've got, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Hope the year's working out great for you. It is day 2 of 2021, right here where I am. So far so good for me. You have a good one.